Overrated describes a person, place, or thing that is valued, praised, or rated too highly compared to its true merit or quality. On the topic of my singing monsters, monsters qualify as things, meaning that they are able to be overrated. In this video, I will be talking about which monsters I believe are overrated by the community and are not as good as people think. Remember, this is my opinion and you're free to disagree. This was probably obvious to some, but the first overrated monster is the Epic Box. Now don't get me wrong, I think this is a super cool monster. Like, we only get one Epic Box a year, and every time we do I'm absolutely hyped.
Oh my goodness, they just revealed Gold Island Epic Box. This Box really puts the epic in Epic Box.
But when it became overrated is when it started getting absolutely milked by content farms and had a bunch of people acting like the Epic Boxes were the best monsters in the game. To be fair, these content farms probably don't care about the game and just post videos for money, but the little kids who watch those channels definitely care about the game and really think that nothing tops Water Island Epic Box. Some of these Epic Boxes don't even do a whole lot for their island and are only really good for watching the individual sounds. I'm talking about you Ethereal Island and Fire Oasis Epic Boxes. Coming from Woodland Island, the second overrated monster is Creep Skew. Now this may sound confusing to some, but in my personal experience, you will get crucified for saying even the tiniest critique about Creep Skew. Okay, now I'm realizing that Creep Skew is more just underhated than overrated, but people really did get mad at me whenever I said that Creep Skew sucked, like in a random comment section. So those people in that comment section did overrate Creep Skew, but I think most of the community doesn't overrate it, they just underhate it, cause this monster sucks, it deserves more hate. I feel like half of these Creep Skew fans don't even like it either, and just want to feel different by liking a monster that a bunch of people hate. So to that I say, it's okay to not be different, you don't always gotta be special. And for the other half that actually does like this monster, I genuinely never saw the appeal. Because one, it is hideous. I get monsters aren't supposed to look good, but this thing is miles uglier than any other one. 2, one of his tracks is just completely inaudible. And 3, another one of his tracks just has a confusing animation in my opinion. Starting off with my second point about one track being quiet, I actually thought that all of his tracks were quiet for a while, until I realized that I could always hear its sounds, but I just never knew that it was from Creep Skew. Track 3, however, really is super quiet though, and I'm not the only one who believes this, because there's multiple videos titled Woodland Island, but you can actually hear Creep Skew where they turn up the track's volume. And yes, I get that not every monster in the game has to be the lead monster that carries the entire song, but when a track is this quiet then it just becomes useless. Now about one of the tracks having a confusing animation, this may just be me, but I never really understood track 2's animation. Track 1's animation is pretty simple, with Creep Skew hitting its drum to produce a hi-hat sound. So for the longest time I thought that maybe track 2 had the same idea, except the animation just wasn't synced up to the sound, or maybe it was just making sounds out of thin air, I don't know. It's only now, a bunch of years later, that I realized that track 2's sound is coming from Creep Skew's teeth.
Oh my god!
I feel like not making Creep Skew's arms move so much for that animation would have made it less confusing, but this is probably just a problem that only I've encountered because I'm stupid. I still stand firmly in my 2 other points though, don't get me wrong on that. If you notice a change in the audio quality, then it's because I'm recording with my phone. But anyway, the last overrated monster is Piplash. I actually removed this monster from the script at first, but then I asked in Discord and I realized that even other people agreed with me. I don't think Piplash is necessarily bad or anything like Creep Skew, but I do just see a lot of blaze for this monster. I see so many people name Piplash's #1 fan, or they have a YouTube channel named after Piplash, or they just like to talk about Piplash a lot. Admittedly, this happens for literally every monster in the game, but I've noticed that it happens a lot more for Piplash. My problem with this is that Piplash is just mid. It barely does anything for Mech Islet. It does a little more for Ethereal Workshop, and it's actually good on Shadow Islet, but that's 1 out of 3 good Piplash sounds. The design is not very notable either. Overall, this is neither a good nor a bad monster, which is why I don't get where all its fans come from. Now for the honorable mentions. First is Common and Rare Woolbox. These guys are pretty overrated too. I mean, every Woolbox is overrated, but they just get overshadowed by Epic Woolbox. Like, they will never reach the same level of glaze that Epic Woolbox is at. Second is Gnarls. Back when it released, people were describing it as like the saving grace of Amber Island, when the island was already good in my opinion. And if you don't think it's good, then it's not like Gnarls made it from bad to good. Like, it didn't really do much for the island. And I also didn't really like it on Bone Island. It was actually good on Amber Island, just didn't save the island like people were saying. But on Bone Island, I just don't really like it. So yeah, those are the 2 honorable mentions. I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment if you agree or disagree.